This is Charm City Decoded. I'm your host, Sophina Turner. I welcome you all back to a new episode. Now, today we're going to be having a discussion about the tariffs that's that's going to be hitting this country soon from Canada, China, and maybe even Mexico. All right. Now, the question is, will tariffs hurt the American consumer, right? So, according to the U.S. Today, and as of March the 6th, 2025, it could drive up the cost of the consumer goods. Now, you may want to know, what is tariffs? Tariffs, and I'm going to read to you what it is. Tariffs is a tax on products brought in from another country, typically paid for by the U.S. company importing the goods. Retailers will pass on some of the costs to consumers, and this is why prices can, and in my opinion, will be inflated. So, that's what tariffs are, okay? So is it a good thing or a bad thing? We already been experiencing inflation over the past few years since the pandemic. And yes, I think over the last year or so, inflation hasn't been as bad, but with these tariffs that's going to be applied to is Canada, Mexico, and China. So what is going on is some of the U.S. companies have already warned that higher prices are coming. If you've been to the store recently, you should see what's going on, especially with the eggs, as they say. Best Buy, Target, and gas prices can go up, and home heating costs can go up. Also, a 5% increase in newly constructed homes. All of this will be affected by the tariffs that the United States bestow upon these other countries. Now, of course, it's always going to be, as they say, a consequence behind every action. So the response from these other countries, I'm going to mention two of them because the third one have not, as of March 6th, have not stated what their increase in tariffs will be. But let's start with Canada. Canada has said 25% of tariffs on $20.7 billion worth of U.S. imports and excuse me and threatened tariffs on another $86.2 billion worth of goods if President Trump doesn't lift his tariffs within 21 days. They're targeting, let me tell you what they're targeting. They're targeting beer, wine, bourbon, appliances, and Florida orange juice. So that's pretty much all of us. All of us is being affected by this, right? All of us consumers who don't enjoy a nice little wine every so often, or beer, or who don't need appliances for their home. Who don't love orange juice? You know, that vitamin C. We all need that, right? Right. So all of us can be affected. Now, that's Canada. Now, I'm going to repeat what the percentage is again. Let me repeat what Canada said. Canada says 25%, which adds up to 20.7 billion, and will threaten another 86.2 billion. That's a lot, right? If President Trump don't take away their tariffs in 21 days. And this was as of March the 6th. And we know that's not going to happen. President Trump is not doing it, right? So here we are. Now China, they are giving up to 15% of tariffs of some U.S. agricultural products. Agricultural products. You know, that's definitely important. Veggies and things of that nature. You know, fruits, all that stuff. Anything dealing with agriculture is going to affect us consumers. Now, Trump he said, this is what President Donald Trump said. These tariffs will pressure Canada, Mexico, and China to stop illegal drugs like fentanyl from entering the U.S. Curb illegal immigration and prevent other countries from taking American jobs. Well, excuse me, I do have a cold, so forgive me if I have to cough here and there. But let me drink a little water so that can soak into you real quick. Excuse me. Now, it doesn't help that across the federal government, we have a lot of layoffs or forced retirements. In a sense. It may not be forced because they are given an opportunity to stay on, but then they given an early, out with, some money that's being given up to them, like a payout, basically. I don't know if it's going to affect the retirees' retirement, but this is what's going on. So it's a lot of things going on out here. I know there have been some departments, federal departments, that's been affected where they was terminated and then rehired back because of what type of job they actually are doing for the federal government, which are important jobs, dealing with when it comes down to certain researches of diseases and things of that nature. So the federal government didn't even know who they was terminating. They were just terminating people. Terminating departments and things of that nature, and not realizing what these departments are doing, what these people are working on in these departments for the federal government. So that's a problem. I know this Doge is the ones who's in charge of this, which is coming from, of course, Mr. Elon Musk. Yes, Mr. Elon Musk. I tell you, these billionaires. I know he a billionaire, and I don't mean and I know that means he know good business. Possibly, of course, because he's a billionaire for a reason, right? One of I guess the wealthiest person in the country. I'm assuming, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So that says something, but it's like no heart is, and no compassion or empathy is being applied to letting these folks go, and that's where the problem is. It's how they're going about doing it. and then they not really fully informed on certain departments that they have tried to let go, but then, like I said, they terminated folks, and then they had to do a rehiring these folks back because of the importance of the job itself that affects this country as a whole. So they need to make sure that they are researching and being informed prior to making these decisions on just letting folks go. So you got folks going into work every day not knowing if it's going to be their last day. That's anxiety. That's unhealthy. So I don't think that's fair to the American people. People who've been serving in the federal government for decades, now not sure, or even the ones who've been there, who's on probation, they're thinking that they are finally got in with the federal government. They finally going to have, stability more, and they're going to have, all these benefits, and they're going to have retirement. The federal government was the way to go. That's the highest level, as they say, when it comes down to government agencies. You got of course, you got your local, then you have your state, and then you have your federal. And the federal is like the top of the line, right? Folks say, oh yeah, I'm good. But look at it. If you are in your probationary status still, it's a possibility you won't have a job. That's not cool. That's anxiety. That's unhealthy. That can send people into a fit of a lot of depression and not knowing what's going to happen. And then, that could be, a lot of other stuff lead to a lot of other stuff that's not good for the human body, the human mind, and the human way of living. So they could have go about it just a little bit different, in my opinion. I understand when it comes down to cutting costs, but know what you're cutting first. Understand what you're cutting first before you start cutting. That's just like when you have companies that take on a new site. They're contracted to take, to work a new site, and they come in with all these full ideas on what they're going to do, what they're going to change prior to even stepping foot on the site and understanding what needs to be changed and what don't need to be changed. And it causes a ripple effect that's negative when it comes down to the ones that's there working and that's been working, especially if you have incumbents that's been there already. It can cause a ripple effect on people not, they're not going to give you their best because you're not even understanding or what is the best thing or course to take when it comes down to them and their workspace. So they don't have confidence in you. So that means they're not going to give you everything that they should be giving you, that you think they should be giving you, or that they would want to give you because of this. So you got to understand that. You got to watch. You got to have a better understanding of what it is you're doing and what you're getting yourself into. You're not going to know probably maybe every single thing there is to know, but have a base guide to helping you understand, okay, now this has been in place for how long, and this is the repercussions of it. So maybe we need to revamp this and redo this, and remove this and add this to it. That's different because you're coming in and you're having a guide on. You're seeing what needs to be changed before you make the change. You're seeing that this really didn't work, and it still don't. So now you're going to the drawing board of figuring out what will. That's different than how they're doing it. So it's just a lot going on. So my question to everyone out there who may listen and tune in to me, what do you think? What is your opinion about these tariffs? What is your opinion about what's going on out here now in general? Because there's a lot of changes. It's a lot of uphill, it's a lot of downhill, it's a lot of ins and outs of what's going on with the federal government because of the new, presidency, the new administration that has taken over the Oval Office. So give me your input. Let me know what you think. All right. So I'm happy to hear from you. Please, subscribe if you haven't already. Share, please, so you can get me out there even more. I would appreciate it. That helps me to get more recognized and help this channel to grow, because I'm all for about trying to keep everyone informed. I want to stay informed, and if is there anything that you need to share that we need to have discussion about on here that you want to listen to or hear about, let me know in the comments. So please, by all means, leave a comment, and like it. That helps too. That help with the what they call it, the algorithm of how it goes out into and be disseminated into the media, social media. So please, by all means, please do all these things for me. I would greatly appreciate it. This is Charm City Decoded. I am your host, Sophina Turner. I bid you all a good day.